So headed towards being the next head coach of the Denver Broncos. Breaking news copy, he says. Breaking news copy. All of our breaking news is always brought to you by Valvoline Instant Oil Change, home of the 15-minute drive-through oil change. Visit SoCalOilChange.com to find a location near you and to download up to $15 in coupons. Andy Kamenetsky, what's happening today, man?
I am actually dealing with some of these same health and safety protocols as you. My daughter tested last week, so we've had to deal with that. I've been negative this whole time, thankfully.
You've been negative the whole time? I've been negative the whole time?
She's fine. I mean, she had gone about 3 years not catching it at some point. Everybody does.
Yeah. Now, Bergman's angry about something. All I know is Bergman gets in my ear right 10 seconds before the show starts and says, I'm really angry.
Yeah,
so
I am.
What is it?
I'm very angry, and Andy knows about it. So
What's the anger?
I go into the studio to help Andy get set up into your seat because you're at home.
Yes.
And I see he's using a coffee cup. And the coffee cup is my coffee cup that Riley gave to me in 2015 when that would have been 8 years ago. She would have been 3 at the time, and it had her handprint that she put onto the coffee cup. Yes. Andy didn't know this. I'm not mad at Andy. It's none of his fault. For some reason, nobody at the station, I'm assuming it's somebody, a cleaning crew, trying to be nice, took it out of my office, put it into the dishwasher, and now there is no handprint.
What?
Yeah.
The handprint?
It was like a paint handprint on the side of the cup?
She put her hand in paint and put it onto the coffee cup, and then they did something to have it stay. And for some reason, because it was going through the dishwasher, I always hand wash it. I've had it for years, obviously since 2015, and I always hand wash it. And so now the handprint is gone, and I'm pissed.
That is terrible.
I'm pissed.
The ceramic glaze didn't protect the
handprint.
The handprint?
I don't know how it all worked. I just used the coffee cup, and I've always had the handprint, and I look at it, and I smile because it was from Riley when she was 3 years old, and now it's gone. And I'm angry. I'm serious.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
okay, now I get
sad.
why you're...
Actually, it's irreplaceable, too.
It is irreplaceable. She's not going to be 3 again.
See, I thought actually you were upset because you couldn't find this cup for so long. I didn't realize the handprint was gone.
No, I had the coffee cup yesterday.
Oh.
But who in the cleaning crew would take a coffee cup out of your office, put it in the dishwasher?
They probably thought they were being nice because they saw a coffee cup and I'll just take this out and put it into the wash. I'll just wash it.
That seems over the line.
Yeah, don't take it out of my office.
Yeah, don't take stuff out of people's offices.
I hand wash it.
Yeah.
God,
yeah. Wow, that is really
I'm very
Well,
angry.
you know what? You know what? She needs to do a new one. How old is she now?
11.
Just have her do a big mug.
Very unhappy about this.
Yeah, that is terrible.
That's going to put me in a whole different mood.
She still considers you, though, the world's best dad.
Well, I am.
Just so you know.
I just wanted you to, you might be to your daughter, but I am to her, and that's all that matters. This is bull.
So I mentioned in that little promo that Morales played that I would report my next stream, and I had one last night. It was, remember when we used to have update people?
Yeah.
We used to have updates at the top and bottom of the hour. Did you have to ever do those, Andy?
I never did, but I was here where Big Z would do them, Beto would do them sometimes.
Dave
correct?
Joseph would do them sometimes. Yeah, all that stuff.
Pete Fox.
So I dreamed we were Pete Fox. That's right. I dreamed we were going back to update people, and my first Natalie Cowell. Oh shoot, I didn't mean to say her name. Hit the dump button.
It's gone.
Say her last name. Okay.
It's gone.
Natalie Smith. Appeared in my dream, and she was my first, and I wonder what that means. She's the update person. Interesting. But so randomly coming out of nowhere in a dream.
When's the last time you've thought of this person?
5 years ago? Yeah, no, just completely random.
Is there something interesting or sort of crossroady feeling going on in your career right now? Because maybe you're just thinking about that sort of stuff and where certain things began, that kind of thing?
That's interesting. So I got one of these things called a legacy box. Do you know what a legacy box is? Where you take a bunch of old tapes and audio cassettes and all this stuff. You put it in a box, you send it away. They digitize it and comes back to you in digitized form. So I'm saving a bunch of old shows that I did. That's the only thing I can think that is in the cross-roady category.
That makes sense then. I mean, you're just thinking about old shows and keeping them all and she just subconsciously entered your mind.
Apparently. Bergman, is that your theory?
Yes. Sorry, I'm still angry.
He cannot get over the cup.
Look,
I'm pissed.
Oh, you can't get over that. Man.
Last week, I finished there was a book that came out which was a prequel and sequel to the movie Heat. It was co-written by Michael Mann.
Really?
Yeah. It came out maybe 6 months ago, but the book.
How is it a prequel and a sequel?
It basically gets into Pacino's character and De Niro's crew in the 80s before the score, that they did in downtown LA, the one with the shootout depicted in the movie. It's the crew and Pacino's character in the 80s before this. And then it also picks up remember Val Kilmer's character, he's the only one that survives.
And she's sort of, and Ashley Judd gives him the signal, go, Val, go.
Yep. It picks up also what happens to them and also what happens to Pacino's character after that.
So is Pacino in it?
Pacino's character, yeah, he's in the prequel book and the sequel book. Like, it's a book. They're eventually I think they're going to be making either a movie.
Oh, this isn't a movie yet. This is still a book.
Yeah, this is a book.
How many pages?
It was like 500 pages, so it took me a while.
Not happening.
It was good. I really liked it. It took me a while to get into it, but I ended up really enjoying it. But
my cutoff is 350 pages. I don't read any book longer than 350
or a Momo
pages.
Article, whichever comes first.
Does that make me an intellectual? No books over 350 pages?
Honestly, man, this is the first book I've read in a long time. Like, I read a lot of magazine articles and things like that, but I've thought about it before. I'm kind of embarrassingly not well read.
I read a fair amount. Actually, Bergman reads a lot. I always have a book on. But at the end of the year, they always put out the list of the best books of the year, and they're always like 2,000 pages long. And I'm like, there's no friggin' way I'm reading a 2,000-page book, or even a 1,000-page, or even a 500-page book.
This was a commitment, man. This book is almost 500 pages.
Oh!
And I did like it, and it does start turning into a page-turner. But, like, particularly, I read nonfiction some, but fiction, like, there are so many classic fiction books that I'm like, never read it.
Really?
No idea. Nope.
Read The Alchemist?
Never read The Alchemist.
Oh, you got to read The Alchemist.
I'm about to start reading it.
All right.
Yeah, you got to read The Alchemist.
Also, I'm still pissed.
Yeah, and still pissed about the coffee cup.
We'll be doing a pissed watch for the next 2 hours.
I'm going to talk about it throughout the show. I don't care. I'm just going to
Very
come up again.
well established. Greg pissed off that his
wouldn't you be?
handprint is
If your
oh,
dog,
I'd be furious.
If Sophie put a dog print on a cup and they
I was just, I was just sitting here. It's funny you say that because I was just looking at, because I'm in my living room, I was looking at where we got little Fredo's footprints on a thing, and I'm like,
we did that too with our cat. I had this cat for 15 years, and she died during the pandemic. And we did that thing where you put the paw prints before she got cremated. You put the paw prints in like cement or plaster, and it hardens, and you have that permanent memorial.
It's
of the
really,
pet.
really
it's
cool to have.
It's awesome.
But
It's
Greg
fantastic.
doesn't have it anymore.
Why are you trying to make me feel bad?
Why you gotta rub it in like
Jesus,
that,
man.
It's sad.
I'm
Well, just
actually,
get
I'm
her to
really,
make
I'm
another
actually
one.
upset about this. This is very
Take
upsetting.
her to one of those Pottery Me places or whatever those are. Have her make
Sure.
something new. Stick her hand in it and go.
Yeah, okay, that sounds all well and good, but she's not 3 years old anymore with her teeny tiny little hand.
Yeah, that's sad. That's very sad.
You're not sad at all.
I am. I'm
You don't
very
feel bad
sad
for me at all.
You. I'm very sad for you.
You're laughing at him like you were
Yeah.
laughing at Lindsay's cat back then.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
This is super sad.
This is a bad guy move.
No, I'm super sad about it.
Just break. Just get out of
Yeah,
this.
get out of. Just go to
All
break.
right, I'm definitely sad though. All right, coming up next, I want to get into an issue of load management. And Steph Curry said some interesting stuff last night. LeBron didn't play. AD didn't play tonight. LeBron is in at Madison Square Garden, so that's exciting. Getting to play at the Mecca. But load management has been in the conversation on this show for a couple of weeks. Ireland got especially worked up last week over it. So some comments from Steph coming up next for you. Mesa in Ireland, 7:10. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There is no mistake. There's no mistake.
There's
Mistake. Duh. Mistake. Come on. Seriously, brother.
Well, that's right here. It says mistake.
Okay.
There's a mistake. I'm an idiot. No, I cannot find something here.
Double the.
Son of a.
I don't see it, no. There's a mistake on this page?
Yeah.
Oh, there's two thus.
There you are.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
You beat sleep.
Yeah. No, I can't find a mistake.
Look at the words.
Can you?
Still don't see it?
You find the. Yeah, there's two thus.
You find the mistake.
God, I feel dumb.
Oh, DD?
Yeah, you
It's
got it.
double DD? Am I the only one that got it?
Andy Kamenetsky's in for John today. So last night, Lakers lose in Brooklyn. It's not a surprise. They were facing Kyrie and the Nets, who've been playing good ball, and AD and LeBron did not play last night. Now, out of curiosity, Andy, was that an issue of load management or was that an issue of injury last night, the reason why LeBron and AD didn't play?
It's a little bit of both, to be honest. I mean, in the case of AD, there's an element of load management that's directly connected to him having missed like half the season recently. And then with LeBron, there is an element of load management, but also that foot/ankle that's been bothering him the whole year. Like, there's no reason for Darvin Ham to bring that up if it's not real, because they could talk about this as scheduled rest or, cautiousness. They can phrase this in a way that doesn't get them in trouble with the league or whatever. You don't bring up the idea that the foot is recurrent and it's really bothering him unless it's a thing. So I think it's both.
So here's what Steph Curry said. Earlier this month, there was a game in Cleveland where the Warriors did not play Draymond Green, Klay Thompson, Andrew Wiggins, or Steph Curry. And this is what Curry said to CBS reporter Jack Maloney. He says, "I campaigned to play every game. That's the misconception about load management and how it goes. It's never the player that's saying, hey, I want to sit. For all those people worried about that part of our league and all that, it's usually not the player that's going to the training staff and saying, hey, I don't have it tonight. It's usually the other way around, and there's a lot of science involved." Steve Kerr, after that decision to not play Draymond, Klay, Wiggins, and Steph, said he called that decision a brutal part of the business and suggested reducing the schedule to 72 games. Do you think that there should be a crackdown on teams for doing this?
Well, here's the problem. When he said it's part of the business, they're not even talking about the basketball industry. They're talking about the literal business, the money. You have so much invested in superstar contracts. These guys are all making like $35 to $50 million a year. You want to try to protect that investment towards getting to the playoffs. So you reach a point where the money is so costly, you feel like you're not getting your investment unless these guys end up in the postseason.
Right, but what is wrong with staggering those games off? In other words, Golden State, they make one trip to Cleveland a year. And they're not playing any of their stars, any of their top
Because at
four
that
stars.
point, you're just screwing over your home fans. Like, if you're going to start dictating this basically by road schedules, you're going to be making it so all the people who are invested the most in the Warriors, some of them literal investments with season ticket holders, they're the ones that end up seeing the stars the least.
But sit Klay for a game, sit Wiggins for a game, sit Draymond for a game, sit Curry for a game. Just don't sit them all at once.
You should try to avoid sitting them all at once if you can, but sometimes you're sitting them because you have to, and then you start thinking about this pragmatically, where it's like, okay, if 3 of our guys are sitting and we're probably going to lose this game anyway, and we're thinking about sitting down like a fourth star. We might as well just do it now and just take the loss.
So this is the old scheduled loss concept.
Yeah, to some degree it is.
Yeah. By the way, I don't even remember if they won that game or lost that game. I'm assuming they lost that game. Cleveland's pretty good. But, yeah, in other words, if you sit one guy, then you're diminished, and maybe you lose the game, and you use those three guys, and you sit somebody else in. Yeah, I mean, the load management issue is going to be a tricky one, obviously, for the league. Ireland is super fired up about this, super fired up. He lost. Would you not say that's as animated as Ireland's been about anything, Bergman?
He's not listening at the moment, but yes, I've done enough shows with John to know this gets him extremely upset. He will always break into a rant about Greg Popovich. Greg Popovich is the guy who invented this, and he'll go on and on and on. He'll let you know Kobe played through everything. I've heard it all.
Yeah, you've heard it. You're a listener.
Yeah, I'm both a listener and a participant.
Yeah,
By the way, the Warriors won that game. It was on Friday, January 20th, and the Warriors won 120 to 114.
Won that game.
They won that game. With
There you
Dante
go.
DiVincenzo, Jonathan Kuminga, Kevon Looney, Ty Jerome, and Jordan Poole starting.
Wow. So they did find a way to win that game. Yeah. I just think if you really want to do something about load management, that's one thing you can do. You could find a team for sitting multiple of its stars in one game.
Teams will take the fine. Like, I mean, really, if it comes down to taking a fine versus feeling like you are not getting enough return on your investment for superstar contracts, you're just going to pay the fine. Like, how much is the fine going to be? Like $100,000? Something like that? That's
Something like that. Yeah, Joe Lake of pocket change. Yeah.
Well, but it's way less money than you feel like you're putting into the payroll of your team. So you'll take the fine. That's not going to do anything.
Okay, let me pivot a little bit here. So, what did you think of the call at the end of the game Saturday in Boston? Actually, it's the non-call at the end of regulation in Boston on Saturday.
I don't know how you missed that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, part of me wonders it's not so much missing it as being afraid to call it, because it's the final play of regulation, and you often hear that you don't want referees deciding the game with a whistle. You want the players to do it themselves, that kind of thing. Because, I mean, if you just missed that, I don't know what you're doing out there reffing a game.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand it either. And Ramona was here yesterday. She took a bunch of grief on Twitter because she was going to bat for the officials. To me, that's the refs are that's an inexcusable. And I know they said we lost sleep over it and it was gut wrenching and all that stuff. But there's not really any clear accountability for blowing that call. Tim Legler was on some show this morning. It was either KJM, Get Up, First Take, or NBA Today. I don't know which one. And he was talking about the referee problem right now in the league. Hit it, Jorge.
It is a problem, and here's how you know it's a problem. It's a problem because it's not just, the average fan is always going to talk about officiating, right? Every night. Their team, somehow, the officials cost them the game. We understand an overreaction on the part of the fans a lot of nights. But when you have people that, watch it every night and you do it for a living, and it's becoming this glaring and this often you've got to talk about it, it's a problem. But here's what I will say, in a little bit in defense of the officials. I can't imagine anything more difficult now than doing that job for two reasons. Number one, physicality's been taken for the most part out of the game, right? This is a wide-open game. The game is played at the three-point line. It's almost as if now when there is contact in the lane, it's foreign to officials now because the rest of the game isn't officiated that way. So that's one thing. And the second thing is, imagine doing a job in which every detail of it was shown on replay with 27 different camera angles and super slow-mo. So every single time you blow your whistle, you now have the propensity to be second-guessed on was that the right call or not. It's never been more difficult to officiate, so I'm going to give them a little bit of slack there. But, look, this play brings a lot of eyes to it, and I'm sorry, you cannot miss a foul across the shooter's arm in that situation.
In your face, you have a perfect view of it, too. Come on.
You got, at that point, honestly, you got 6 eyes that should be watching that play and the potential for contact at the rim. You can't miss it, man. It's egregious.
He didn't miss it. He just swallowed the whistle.
And it cost him a game.
Kellerman hit it. He swallowed the whistle, and it's for the reason you said, Andy. The idea that at the end of the game, you want players to settle this. Realistically, if it's a foul in the first quarter, it should be a foul on the last play of the game. It was a clear foul, and it's inexcusable to miss that. And I would argue this isn't just last night. I mean, this is multiple times now. The Lakers and LeBron specifically, in that overtime with Dallas last week or week before, same exact thing. Should have been a foul. Should have gone to the free throw line. Should have ended the game. LeBron isn't being officiated the way star players are being officiated.
LeBron is, I think, seen as the most difficult star to referee since Shaq. Because he's so big and so athletic and so strong. I think a lot of times the contact that should be called, I'm not disputing it should be, feels incidental with someone like him, the way like guys would bounce off Shaq as they were fouling him.
Right.
And I think a lot of times too, there's this feeling that if you called every foul against LeBron, guys would foul out in the first quarter. And you have to have the ability to have a game. It's part of the problem with this right now is the Lakers have been experiencing this a lot on the bad end of it.
Right.
Beyond just Laker fans complaining about it, Lakers complaining about it. Like, it's been legit. And the Lakers play so many nationally televised games that more people are actually seeing it. Like, I don't think I've ever seen this many people from this many fan bases complaining about refereeing in the NBA in general.
But what has really changed? I mean, Legler's saying the game is different now, and it's
to me, the biggest thing is, and I've been saying for a few years, I think they should add a fourth ref because the game, in particular, over the last 5 or 10 years, has gotten so much faster and more spread out.
Right.
Like, it used to be very 18 feet and in. Now it's super spread out. I think there's too much for you to be keeping track of at once. I think they should add a fourth official.
Adding a fourth official.
It won't solve everything.
Not heard that suggested. That doesn't solve the fact that I forget that official's name. We shouldn't forget it. The guy that blew the call on Saturday.
Hashtag never forget.
Yeah, hashtag. I was all fired up about him yesterday. Now I don't remember his name. Is it
Eric?
Lewis? I think
Eric something.
Eric Lewis, maybe.
Yes, Eric Lewis.
Eric Lewis. That does not. A fourth official wouldn't have resolved that.
Well, maybe if the different fourth official was in Eric Lewis's place, he calls it. I don't know. I mean, look, it's going to be imperfect no matter what.
Sure.
You just want it to be better. And then in the meantime, there's just this question of the Lakers. The Lakers have been dealing with this in ways that have really compounded their problems because, as LeBron says all the time, they have no margin for error. And that includes, self-inflicted wounds, but it also includes referee error. Like, they can screw up their games on their own. They don't need the help from the refs.
But in fairness, these are really, Boston, you're on the road at Boston. It makes sense that it would be determined by a call, or one call would be pivotal. That was the case there. You can go back and you say, yeah, Westbrook had that turnover and he missed that layup and he didn't finish and all that stuff, but they're playing one of the best teams in the league, if not the best team in the league, and it comes down to one last play.
Yeah, look, the refs are not the reason they lost that game. They are the reason, though, that LeBron was not in the position to hit one of two free throws and win the game for the Lakers. Like, that part is true. They're not the whole reason the Lakers lost, but they're an important factor.
Yeah.
They were.
All right, coming up next, going to spin the wheel of questions. Hey, Valentine's Day pressure is insane. So here's what I suggest. Send flowers from Books, that short
is the biggest show on the radio. Mason and Ireland here each weekday, 1 to 4 p.m. You know what it's time for? What is this? It's time for Wheel of Questions. Producer Jorge, are you ready with that wheel? Hit it!
All right, spinning the wheel of questions. Andy Kamenetsky in for John. Interesting. All right. If you had to change one thing about yourself, what would it be?
Oh, God, I'd get my hair back.
Is that what it would be? You would get your hair back?
I mean, you remember it. I had good hair.
You did have hair.
I had
do
some
remember you.
seriously good hair back in the day.
We used to say the Kamenetsky brothers are the bald one and the bald guy and the other one.
Yeah, and look,
because Brian early shaved his head.
No, but Brian, to be totally honest, was like Charlie Brown growing up. Like he started losing his hair. He was starting to recede in high school. So like in the case of Brian, he lost nothing. Yeah. I lost greatness.
Really great. It was like Samson losing his hair.
You know, I'll tweet out. I do this every now and then. I tweet out my long-haired photo.
Yeah.
This is some glorious hair.
How did you go from such long, luscious hair to no hair?
Was it just straight up genetics?
Was it like a slow burning thing, or did it just all happen at once?
It started pretty rapidly because it runs in my family pretty strongly, and most of the men in my family start losing their hair in their 20s, early 30s at the latest. It had skipped past me at that point, so I thought maybe I got lucky. Then all of a sudden, boom.
Did you cut it? Did you cut the long hair and then?
No. I mean, I had cut the long hair, but I still had a lot of hair. But once the baldness genetics kicked in, boom. Like it was pretty rapid.
That's too bad.
It was.
Did you ever think about doing something besides shave your head? Did you ever think of like a rug or something?
No. No.
Do people still wear? Do they still wear toupees?
I mean, we once.
It's kind of because shaving your head is now such an acceptable thing. I think there are fewer toupees out there.
Look, we've discussed this before, Mace. I have convinced myself that I now resemble my spirit animal, Jason Statham.
Oh, there you go.
And because of this, I've come to grips with this turn of events.
All right, you got to change something about yourself, Bergman. What do you pick?
Being angry right now because I don't have a coffee cup with my daughter's handprint on it anymore.
Yes,
so
exactly.
I would like to not be angry about it anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not going to happen for this show.
All right. Nope, you're going to stay angry for the show. That's good.
Pretty much, yep.
Play angry. What do you think?
No, it's not play.
What do you think, Jorge?
I don't want to deal with an angry Bergman anymore.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. He's sitting behind
the way
me.
those fit together. Yeah.
So different job?
No, it's just, I mean, that sucks, man. How is somebody just going to do that? Like, you don't take stuff from somebody's office.
Yeah.
It must be somebody new.
If you're just tuning in, Bergman has a coffee mug that had Riley's handprint from when she was 3 years old on it, and it went into the dishwasher, and now the handprint is gone.
Yep.
Which is disappointing.
Yeah. I'll get over it.
Oh, man. It sucks.
It does suck.
Sucks.
It does suck. It's sad.
Let's continue bringing the show down. All right, keep going. What about you, Mace? What do you change about yourself?
Oh, yeah. I wish I was less disorganized. I am the least organized person you know. Greg, do you think that's true? Am I the least organized person around?
If you look at your rundown, yes, 100%.
Yeah, I mean, my rundown for the show, and Andy, I don't know if you're there, but it's colors and it's shapes and it's like a Bill Walton model. It's colors and shapes.
Your rundown,
sizes.
Your rundown looks like the note left behind by a serial killer.
Cut out pieces of newspaper.
It's
like
ridiculous.
Kaczynski had this in his shack in Montana or whatever.
Yeah, seriously, you're like 2 steps removed from the Unabomber when you leave a rundown in this document. It's absolutely incomprehensible. When I'm coming in on shows now, I don't even look at it anymore. Like, you glean no information from it whatsoever.
Do you think that's true, Bergman? Do I need to change the way I do things?
I would probably help a little bit. You'd be a little more organized. Like, do you feel organized with the way that this is?
I don't feel organized in any aspect of my life.
So maybe
I just feel generally disorganized.
How about you come in early on Thursday, and we'll try and organize the rundown.
Okay, organize the rundown.
We have a short show on Thursday.
Should be easy to organize.
Right. We can just find a different way to make it so you can understand what you're looking at here.
Okay, that's good. That's good. I'd also like to. I would like to up my wardrobe game, which, by the way, wouldn't take much. I have this idea that by the end of the year, I will have cut weight and I will be able to wear nice clothes, and people like Colin Cowherd will no longer refer to me as looking like a flood victim.
Well, let's just start with jeans. Let's just start with jeans, and then we'll move from there. Yeah.
Over sweatpants.
Yeah. Stop with the sweatpants.
You should just get super pricey, super high-end hoodies. Make hoodies your thing because you love hoodies, but just get the really expensive hoodies.
Expensive hoodies.
Like $700, $1,000 hoodies. Just make that your thing.
Bergman, what do you think? The hoodie.
I think getting the Viore, and then Cody just said Supreme hoodies.
Oh, yes.
Supreme hoodies.
Supreme hoodies. I'm going to look it up right now. But
yeah, look that up.
Yeah,
maybe I can find a way to dress up, but with fancy hoodies.
You become the equivalent of the sneaker guy. You know, the guy that has thousands and thousands of high-end sneakers. Sometimes they cost $600, $700 a pair, maybe more. That's you with hoodies.
How much do the Supreme hoodies cost, Bergman?
The Supreme, it changes around a little bit. It's some are like $100, some are $40. It just depends on what you're.
Well, that's not expensive enough.
Sign me up for the $40 hoodie.
Yeah. So what's the difference between a $100 hoodie and a $20 hoodie? Come on.
Like this one is oh wow, this one is $310.
Oh, what does a hoodie do for $310? It's just a hoodie.
Cody, how are you affording a $265? Cody, you're talking in my ear. It doesn't go over the air.
That is insane. I could not, in good conscience, spend $260 on a hoodie.
Do you want to look or not,
hoodie.
Mace?
I can get them at Ross Dress for
Mace,
less.
do you want a look or not? Do you want to reinvent yourself or not, Mace?
Reinventing myself. That
No,
means
not really.
no team hoodies, right? I would have to get rid of the team hoodies.
Well, you can still get a nice team hoodie.
This is what. Look, Mace. You know how on
Mitchell and Ness,
you
do
watch
they make
Succession. You watch
Yes,
Succession,
I do.
right?
I do.
The way you know that the Roy family is super mega rich is they wear those baseball caps with no logo.
Oh, right.
The no logo caps are in real life.
Right, Logan Roy wears a no logo baseball
So does
cap.
Kendall.
Yeah.
So does the youngest one. I'm blanking on his
Roman.
Roman. They all wear those blank baseball caps because they are in real life really expensive to get.
So the idea would be, can I come up with a Steve Jobs-esque wardrobe?
Yeah, I mean, you're the upscale Zuckerberg.
Upscale Zuckerberg. Okay, I'm gonna look into that.
Oh,
that's what I
wow.
would like to change by the end of the year. That's what I would like to change.
Okay, so if you want to go to Supreme, there's a Supreme Swarovski boxed logo hoodie, and it's just a gray hoodie, and it says Supreme, and I'm guessing there's Swarovski crystals on it.
Oh, well, what do
It's
I need Swarovski crystals on my hoodie?
Because you can.
So you can spend $1,890 on it.
$1,890?
Yeah, on a Supreme hoodie.
Never ever.
You can go a little bit less and just get a box logo hoodie that's all black and white for $730.
It is a friggin' hoodie, but I will go to the website and check it out. All right, coming up next story, don't forget we got Lakers basketball. Alan Slewa with the pregame coming up for you at 3 o'clock today. In the meantime, we're going to do some What's Up Fool next. Mason and Ireland, 7:10.
Mason and Ireland. And now, the segment formerly known as Bobcat. It's time for What's Up, Foo?
What's up, Foo?
Take it away, Kurt McRae.
Thanks, Chris. All right, so I want to start with, let's start with Derek Carr. Derek Carr is officially a Pro Bowler.
Woo-hoo!
In Las Vegas.
Congratulations.
As a Raider.
Yep.
But not going to be a Raider.
Nope.
Kind of a little awkward.
No more.
Is that a little awkward to you?
It is awkward. The Pro Bowl has just become, and I know they're doing a new thing, and they're playing flag football, and what the hell they're doing. And I know Peyton and Eli are involved. But, I mean, how many different players have to turn down this invitation to wind up getting some of the guys that they've got? I mean, the Pro Bowl is just not a thing, won't be a thing, can't become a thing. It is over. I don't care if Eli and Peyton are involved. Very awkward that Derek Carr, who's no longer going to be a Raider, is going to be there wearing a Raiders jersey or uniform or flag football outfit or whatever the hell it is. But in the end, I don't know that it makes a huge difference. What do you think, Andy?
Have you ever been to the Pro Bowl?
Oh, I used to go every year. Never.
It is awful.
Yeah.
I got sent there once for work, 10, 12 years ago for ESPN, an assignment. It is brutal to sit through. It's so boring.
Now, they're not even playing a real game this year. They're just playing a flag football game.
You know what? I actually think the flag football game has the potential to be more exciting than pretending you're playing a tackle football game. Because if guys are less concerned about getting hurt, they might actually go more all out, have more fun. It could not possibly be any worse than what it had been.
So when I was living in Hawaii, I went to the Pro Bowl one time. I fell asleep at halftime. It was so bad.
While you were there?
While I was there.
Wow.
In the seats, watching. It was awful.
It's unwatchable. So I welcome the flag football adjustment. It could not possibly make it worse.
I have just as high a percentage of watching with flag football as I did with regular football. It's just not going to happen.
So you're not excited to see Tyler Huntley instead of Josh
Tyler
Allen?
Huntley. In whose universe? Seriously, in whose universe is he
doing?
a Pro Bowler?
Yeah, ridiculous.
What's up, Foo?
All right, so a guy named Eric Robinson, who's a PA for ESPN, put out on Twitter today, what sports event pre-Twitter, so July 2006, would cause chaos on the app if it existed then? Pre-2006.
So something that would cause
chaos on the app.
Pre-2006.
Yeah, so
well, I have let me see.
Was the USC Texas Rose Bowl?
That was 2006, right?
Was that 2006?
It was July 2006, though, so it was probably January or December. So
that game was insane.
Yes, that would fit.
That would fit.
Lakers, Kings, 2002 Western Conference Finals, Game 7. Lakers, Blazers, 2000 Western Conference Finals, Game 7.
Anything Tim Donaghy would probably go nuts.
Oh,
too.
Tim Donaghy. That would have been ridiculous. The number of conspiracy theories and people making internet, the Twitter is filled with detectives. I'm sure they would have found all kinds of wrinkles in that Tim Donaghy story.
What do you think would have happened with the David Stern frozen envelope?
David Stern frozen envelope. That would have been a big conspiracy. Yeah. David Stern frozen envelope. I'm trying to think other stuff that would have lit.
I mean, it could be anything. So, it could have happened in the 70s. You can go back as far as you want.
Well, I've always thought if Michael Jordan had played in the Twitter era, we would not think of him the same way.
Oh, absolutely.
That's a great point.
If he had been around in the social media age and you saw everything going on with Michael, people would be complaining that he was out, golfing on game days or
and
out
gambling.
Right. And now, by the way, this stuff has so sunk into legend what Michael Jordan was like. We still think of him as this psychopathic competitor who would never buddy-buddy with anybody, even though we all saw in The Last Dance he was doing the opposite. We know for a fact he was buddy-buddying with everyone, and people still won't accept it.
Well, if you think about it, Jordan and why he went to play baseball would have been a massive conspiracy because everybody, there are lots of people that think, he got in trouble gambling, so they sent him away for 2 years. He was on double secret probation.
Think how big it was. Think how big the conspiracies were then, before social media.
but amplify it by Twitter, and
Oh, yeah.
it would have been just astounding. It would have taken over Twitter.
Well, just the flu game alone, if everybody was going crazy for Mahomes on a hurt ankle was going crazy on Twitter, what do you think that would happen during the flu game?
Yeah. No, Twitter really did change everything. And one of the things I think it did isn't necessarily a good thing. Nobody comes out of this untarnished. Because of Twitter, nobody comes out of their careers untarnished. There's always little dings that happen because of social media. Social media has ruined the idea of an athlete having a pristine image, I think.
I mean, in a lot of ways, technology ruins everything. Like, the more you know about certain things, generally speaking, the less excited you are about it, the worse you feel about it. Like, knowledge is power, but knowledge also takes you behind the curtain. And a lot of times it's like, it's better when the curtain's fully extended.
What's up, fool?
Oh, man. Okay, so it's that time of year. Well, check this out.
Okay.
Brenda asked me yesterday, are we throwing a Super Bowl party or are we going to a Super Bowl party? And she's like, and why do you even watch it if your team's not in it? And I said, this league only plays for 20 or 25 weeks out of the year. Why not watch it? So I'm used to having something in my place. But if I get invited to a party, like, should I just go to a party? Should I throw a party? Like, what do you expect out of I've never been to a Super Bowl party.
Really? You've never been to
No,
one?
I usually have it at my house or watch it with my dad.
I've never been invited to your house for a Super Bowl party.
No, but it's not a party. It's like a little family
A little get-together where you cook and everything.
Right. So my dad cooks, like, whatever, or I do some ceviche. So this time I'm getting invited to a couple of parties. Now, should I just avoid my dad and go to these parties?
Can you not bring your dad?
No, he wouldn't go anyway.
Well, then, if he's not
Who's throwing the parties?
Oh, just, friends and, other family members.
What do you want to do?
I really want to go somewhere this year.
Okay, you just said your dad won't go.
Right. he won't.
Invite him. He's going to say no.
Right.
Then you got the out to do what
Right,
you
then
want.
you've at least made the offer.
Yeah, true that.
I like a good Super Bowl party. I mean, it is...
Have you ever hosted a Super Bowl party, Mace?
Never hosted one. I've been to some big ones, never hosted one. I told this story earlier. Michelle Beadle used to throw gigantic Super Bowl parties, and we always had a blast over there. I remember being pursued by Beadle, who had a bottle of Fireball, trying to get everybody to do a shot. I mean, it was wild parties. But I've not been to a Super Bowl party in a couple of years. It works, though, I think, socially, because there's so much going on. Some people want the commercials, some people want the halftime, some people want the squares. Everybody's competing on the squares and bets and all that kind of stuff. Super Bowl party's fun. I've not been invited to one this year and haven't been invited to one in a couple of years.
Yeah, because of the pandemic.
Yeah,
the pandemic.
Pandemic changed everything.
Yep.
What's up, fool?
All right, so I got into a conversation with Travis before his show started today. He asked if I had started saving for Riley's college. The answer is yes, and I have some money put aside, but I'm also trying to save for a house. So which do you think is more important, the house or the college tuition, and how important is college nowadays based on what they want to be? Andy, your daughter is close to that.
Oh, she's
11.
Never going to college. Who are we kidding?
Well, that's kind of the thing. Like, would you save for a house or would you save for the college?
Sometimes
There's really one or the other at this point.
Sometimes I worry that I'm too far gone for a great investment in either. But in all honesty, I would say you should be saving for the house, because there could be a point where either the college tuition bubble bursts, because I think there's starting to become a realization that your investment just isn't worth it, nor is it worth going into that much debt for a degree that might not even dictate the career you have. And I don't know if the housing bubble is going to burst. I get concerned that it won't.
Yeah, I mean, I think here's the thing with buying a house. Once you buy a house, it's an asset.
Yep.
And then you can draw against the. So, for example, you could do. I'm not Susie Orman here, but
I don't know who that is.
She's a financial
investment
person,
guru.
investment guru. So, but one thing you could do is you could withdraw equity from the house later to pay for Riley's college.
Yeah.
So you can kind of do both things at once, but. It's kind of like once you get a house in L.A., you're kind of in the game. So I think the house should be the priority. As for how important a degree is, I can honestly say I don't use my – I don't know. I majored in pop culture, so I guess maybe I did use my degree or am using my degree. I think that, your standard liberal arts degree English degree. I mean, I don't know if those things are useful
I don't even
anymore.
know if they check.
Except, I don't think nobody's ever checked to see I graduated from Bowling Green.
There are certain things you have to get the degree for. Like if you want to be a doctor, you're not going to be able to fake your way into medical school.
CPA.
CPA. If you're doing nothing that requires grad school, I don't know actually if you need to go to college. Like if you
What
really
do you think
need
Riley
to.
wants to do, Greg?
She wants to do animation.
So does my daughter.
Yeah. She loves it. She's great at it.
My daughter, honestly, my biases aside, she's phenomenal for her age.
Yeah,
so do you go to college for animation?
She's picked out the college she wants to go to. It's an animation college in Osaka.
In Osaka, Japan?
In Osaka.
For anime?
Yes.
Is she into anime?
Yes.
Oh, I should
Super.
give me the information so I can give it to
I
Riley.
will show you some pictures during the break. Like she's legit. I actually tweeted one out at Cam Brothers if people want to scroll through my timeline, and the response was like, "Damn, she's 11."
Yeah, just retweet it, man. It's easier.
Yeah. yeah, go to your timeline and scroll down. By the way, USC apparently has a very good animation program. You went to USC, Andy.
Yeah, but not for animation.
But not for animation. For acting, which
Yep.
you use like
All
you're
the
using
time.
right now.
Yeah.
You're acting interested.
And there's no way in hell Riley is going to USC for anything whatsoever.
Yeah. Oh, no, she should go to SC.
100% not happening.
Oh, that would be so great.
She'd be disowned.
What's up, fool?
Well, then you wouldn't feel so bad about the mug.
No, don't you dare.
Oh, you brought
It
up
was
the
a-
mug
oh,
again.
come on.
I'm angry again.
It's a callback joke. It's a callback
It
joke.
doesn't feel like a joke anymore. It feels really sad.
Yeah, it is
mocking it,
sad.
man. Come on.
I am sad.
We're gonna work on this. We're gonna solve this problem somehow.
How are you going to get a 3-year-old handprint from Riley?
Well, okay,
There's no way to.
people
the
are
problem
giving-
is unsolvable.
People are giving me options on Twitter, but yeah, it's a little bit.
Yeah, Crypto Ray and the Mason and Ireland Mafia suggested. I guess you can look with a blue light for the outline of the handprint, and then have it put back on.
I mean, I'll check it out.
That's an idea. Little extra work, but no, that's an idea to
Yeah,
maybe
it's worth
save
it.
the handprint.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's worth it.
I think Riley's worth the work.
Riley is worth the work, so I will
Yes.
look into it.
What's up, fool?
All right, so this will probably be the last one, unless you want another one. Doesn't matter. There is a list out. It says which NBA fans are the most stressed watching their team based upon the percentage of negative tweets. I'm going to give you a hint. You can do the top 5 or top 10, whatever you want. There's only the top 10. The Lakers are not on there. Shockingly.
Not on the list?
They're not, which is absolutely shocking to me. I'm on Lakers Twitter. It is absolute madness.
Oh, it is crazy.
Yeah. So, top 10 fan bases. You can only do the top 5 if you want.
And this is NBA.
This is NBA. Percentage of negative tweets, only NBA.
Okay, I'm guessing the Knicks.
The Knicks are number 2 at 31.7%.
Who else is a
I'm
really
gonna say
negative
this year
fan
the
base?
Warriors.
The Warriors are number 3 at 30.1%. You're absolutely right.
Yeah,
because
especially this year.
They're supposed to be good, and they're not great.
Knicks, Warriors. Damn.
What about the Raptors?
The Raptors are
They've been
not
awful
on
this
there.
year.
Not
And
on there.
they're a very enthusiastic fan base. Hawks.
The Hawks are on there. They're 10, 9, 8, 7th with 26%.
7th. The Celtics.
Not on here.
Not on there.
What's there to complain about with them?
Yeah, I guess
Yeah,
there's not a lot to
they're
complain
really
about
they're
there.
really good, even when they win games by bad officiating.
Denver. How about Denver?
Hashtag never forget.
Denver's number 9, 25.5%. Yeah.
Denver.
The hell are they mad about?
Dallas. How about Dallas?
Dallas not on here, so that's 3. So the number 1 team, and by a decent amount, 32.4%. Miami Heat. The
Oh,
Miami Heat
Miami.
fan base is the angriest, most stressed watching team. Then it's the Knicks, the Warriors, the 76ers are on there, the Wizards, which who cares about the Wizards, the Bulls, the Hawks, the Nets, Brooklyn Nets at number 8, and then Nuggets and Timberwolves at number 10.
How do they measure this stuff?
It's analyzing 75,000 tweets for negative sentiment. Replay Poker ranked the top 10 NBA teams.
Okay.
There you go.
There
What's
you go.
up, fool?
Do you want another one, or are you done?
Yeah, do one more.
All right, let's do one more.
Yeah,
Do you
you're on
wanna-
a roll.
All
kid.
right. Do you want to do a random tweet that I saw from someone, or
Yeah.
Jaren Jackson Jr.?
Let's go random tweet.
Random tweet. All right, so someone named Simone Fii, F-I-I-I, 3 I's, on Twitter put this out.
Fee.
Also, it said, what is, and we were kind of talking about conspiracy theories, what is a conspiracy theory that you genuinely believe in, whether there is concrete evidence or not?
Okay. Conspiracy theory that I
Believe
believe in.
Whether there's evidence or not. It doesn't matter. It's just something you totally believe in, like the the Knicks getting the number 1 pick because of the frozen envelope.
Okay, I believe that for several years after the Chris Paul deal was rescinded for hashtag basketball reasons, hashtag never forget, the league, the NBA, rigged the draft lottery for several years in a row so the Lakers could get the likes of Julius Randle, D'Angelo Russell, Brandon Ingram, Lonzo Ball, 3 number 2 picks in a row. Why? Because A, the league realized that they overstepped their boundaries and screwed the Lakers over when it came to the Chris Paul deal, and also because they came to realize the league is in a better position when the Lakers are good, and they were trying to accelerate that. So it was both altruistic and totally selfish. No evidence of this whatsoever. I firmly believe it.
Okay, I do believe, and we talked about this, I do believe that Michael Jordan was sent away from basketball to play baseball for a couple of years to cool off after some sort of gambling thing. Again, I don't know, aside from rumor, I don't have any proof of that, but that to me feels real. In terms of major conspiracies, Andy, do you believe there's some conspiracy to hide information about unidentified aerial phenomena? We're supposed to call them AEPs now and not UFOs.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they've come out and said that there have been UFOs and things like that. I mean, that's become basically a known fact at this point. So you have to figure there's still information that they're sitting on.
What about JFK? Ireland is a big believer that there was someone on the grassy knoll.
100%.
Yeah.
I 100% disagree.
Absolutely.
I don't believe there was somebody on the grassy knoll. I've been to, I think it's called Dealey Plaza. I've stood. It's weird. They've got a museum there. You can actually stand in the window where Lee Harvey Oswald was
standing
at the point of the assassination.
He was shooting from behind.
Back
and he went
into
back
the left.
into the left. Exactly.
Back and to the left.
It's the magic bullet.
But that's not how that works. You get shot in the back of the head, you're going to go forward.
Close. It is so close. It's not far away that he took that shot.
But it's still, the physics don't work,
right,
regardless of the distance.
You go forward.
Why has there not been, after all these years and everything declassified and all that stuff, why has there not
everything
been any
declassified that we know of?
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You're right. That is an unfounded conspiracy. That's a good one.
Yeah, because it's real and it's actually how
it is a conspiracy,
there was a
and there is
second
no
gunman.
evidence for it at all.
100%.
All right.
What's up, fool?
All right, there you have it. There's What's Up, Fool.
Area 51.
Area 51. See, now, Area 51, I don't believe it's a conspiracy. I think that's where they fly, they test planes that are like state-of-the-art and ones that we've never seen before, testing fancy new technology.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think UFOs are there.
Well, that's the whole conspiracy theory, is that the aliens are
They
there.
don't want you near there.
There is, by the way, a conspiracy that the aliens from Roswell in, I think it was 1951, the bodies of the aliens were brought to Dayton, Ohio and Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, and they are stored in like Hangar 19 or something like that. I actually think I got that story right. 1951, Roswell, alien bodies transported, Dayton, Ohio, Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, Hangar 19.
Well, remember in Men in Black, when Tommy Lee Jones brings Will Smith into the Men in Black fold, and he explains to them, a person is smart. People are dumb, panicky, dangerous animals, and you know it. That's why they have to keep some of this under wraps, Mace. We, as a population, can't handle it.
By the way, it is exactly Hangar 18, Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. That's where they are reportedly. The Area 51 aliens are now in Hangar 18, so lots of numbers there.
Do you believe this one on the YouTube? Casper Villa says John Benet Ramsey is Katy Perry.
Yeah, I've heard this one. I think this one's ridiculous.
What about
Lindsay's big on this one.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of makes sense. What do you think of the one that Paul McCartney is actually dead?
Don't agree. I've seen him wandering around on stage with a guitar.
They made another one. He
They
died.
made
He
another
died.
Paul McCartney.
He died, and somebody else came in, took his spot, and became Paul McCartney.
You're
He's not
talking
the original
about during
Paul
the
McCartney.
days of the Beatles.
Yeah.
Paul is dead.
Yeah,
right.
Paul is dead. Yeah.
Apparently, if you took some album and you played it backwards, it kept saying Paul is dead, Paul is dead.
But there's a whole
Paul
thing
is
like
dead.
he was shorter than everybody, and then in later years, then he started getting taller than everybody. He's a different guy.
Different human being.
Yes.
is playing
This stuff,
Paul
by the
McCartney.
way, we've already seen it, actually, with Damar Hamlin. Like, in the age of deep fakes and AI,
no.
like, these conspiracy theories are going to start getting insane.
Yeah, they are ridiculous.
And no matter how clearly disproved they are, people are still going to buy into it. I mean, that's part of what makes conspiracy theories work, is they don't have to follow logic. And as long as you don't need logic or proof, you can make the argument for anything. I mean, like, we do this on the show all the time. Like, we have to often, take counterpoints or think about something from a different angle. That I'm not saying we're, like, making up conflict, but you have to sometimes think about it in a way that's, devil's advocate-y. Conspiracy theories are in a lot of ways just devil's advocate on steroids.
Yeah, and everybody's been down that, the proverbial rabbit hole on some subject where you start, that story leads you to this story, leads you to this story, and all of a sudden you're believing something crazy. The internet is good at that.
Do you have any family members who are conspiracy theorists? Like, I have in-laws, like part of my wife's family.
Yep.
There's a section of them that are conspiracy theorists. It's crazy.
Chupacabras.
Crazy talking with them.
Jorge, did you say chupacabras?
Yeah, chupacabras.
Oh, I wish it were limited to something like that. That's harmless.
Yeah.
It's you cannot reason with them at all. It's wild.
All right, there you have it. There's
How
your
about
What's
Bigfoot?
Up, Fool.
I'm just playing.
Yeah, Bigfoot.
Let's go.
This is an honest God true story. So when I was going to Europe for the first time, I was probably 19 years old, and I said, okay, now I could go to anywhere in Europe. I was going to backpack, right? Could go anywhere in Europe, but I was fascinated by the Loch Ness Monster. So I went to Scotland, I went to Loch Ness, and I looked for the monster, didn't find it, had a really good trip. But that legitimately the reason I went to Inverness, Scotland, was to go out onto Loch Ness. Saw nothing, but everybody on that boat was holding their camera ready just in case. We saw Nessie. All right, coming up next for you, Mike Greenberg hates the new Twitter, and the states in this country where they do the most drinking. That's coming up next for you. We're working our way towards 3 o'clock. Pre with Slee. Lakers at Madison Square Garden tonight versus the Knicks. LeBron will be on the floor tonight after taking last night off. Mason and Ireland, 7.
One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There is no mistake. There's no mistake.
There's
Mistake. Duh. Mistake. Come on. Seriously. Duh. Well, that's right here. It says mistake. Okay. There's a mistake.
No! I'm an idiot. No, I cannot find something here.
Double the
Son of
I don't see it, no. There's a mistake on this page?
Yeah.
Oh, there's 2 thus.
There you are.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
You beat Slee.
Yeah.
No, I can't find a mistake.
Look at the words.
Can you?
Still don't see it?
You find the... Yeah, there's 2 thus.
You find the mistake.
God, I feel dumb.
Oh, DD?
Yeah, you
It's
got
double
it.
DD? Am I the only one that got it?
At ESPN, the OGs of LA Sports Radio. We're here each weekday, 1 to 4 p.m. for your afternoon. Sandwiched between Travis and Sliwa and Sonato and Cap. Mason and Ireland continues now.
On Twitter here, you can always tweet us at Venice Mace, at Cam Brothers?
Cam Brothers.
Cam Brothers, yeah. I get confused because it's bros and then it's brothers on Twitter.
No.
Hey, aren't you the guy who does the Lakers dance party hoedown on your phone?
Cambrose was this unfortunate woman who lived in Florida, or may still, I don't know, named Kathy Ambrose, who used to hear all the time on Twitter from people who hate me or Brian or are angry about something we wrote or said on the show or whatever, and they would flood her with angry comments. I think she deactivated her account because of us.
Because of you.
Yeah.
So, Crypto Ray tweets, OJ White Bronco chase would have been something on Twitter. It would have broke Twitter.
Oh my.
That would have absolutely broken Twitter.
Oh my, yeah. Yeah.
So weird. I was in New York doing a show when that was going on, and I lived in Westwood at the time, and I was watching the Bronco like weave in and out of neighborhoods I knew, but I was in New York watching it. It was a weird sensation.
It was a crazy time to be in LA. Like, that was just nuts.
That would have broken Twitter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Rusty 11870. USC tuition is $179,000 a year. Is that right?
I have no idea.
How much was
private.
your tuition, Andy?
I have no idea. What, $179K a year? I can promise you that.
Ballpark it.
I honestly don't know. I mean, it was so long ago. I honestly don't know.
Lots of recommendations for hoodies. Check out Essentials hoodies. The reason why Supreme is an expensive brand is because of the fabric they use. Check out Rue Porter, LA-based streetwear company that's affordable. I'm all about affordable. Expensive-looking hoodies are Sedano's forte. Don't think Venice Mace can get away from the Unabomber look if he tried. Hey!
I think.
Nice.
See, I think if you start wearing some hoodies that are a little more fitted, you can tell that the fabric's nice. I think all of a sudden you turn your look from schlubby to something pretty desirable.
Okay, I'm thinking about it.
How about this one? Spencer G says Malice at the Palace on Twitter.
Oh.
That one would have gone crazy.
That would have gone nuts.
That night was surreal. That was just great. Like watching. Did you watch that in real time? Because I did.
No, I did not watch it in real time.
Watching that in real time was just bonkers. I remember I was watching a Laker game, and it either cut into it or cut away from it, something like that. But you went from this Laker game to that, and like you had never seen anything like that before. It was nuts.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. Yeah, and that would have broken Twitter also. Yeah, no doubt. All right, so speaking of Twitter, Mike Greenberg, who's the host of Get Up, went on, I don't know if this was from his radio show or from the TV show. You know, I watch a certain number of shows every day that are ESPN shows, and I never know exactly where these things come from. But this is Mike Greenberg. What, say it again?
ESPN Plus.
This is from, okay, yeah, you're right. It's from ESPN Plus. That's good.
I know I'm not that smart.
Go ahead and hit it. This is what Mike Greenberg says about Twitter.
I know I'm not that smart. I don't claim to be that smart. I'm a sports announcer. I'm not a technical person. I don't know anything about anything. I don't know algorithms or anything else. But I know that Twitter was something that I really enjoyed. We sit here during commercial breaks on this radio show, and I would just glance at Twitter, and it would keep my mind occupied until we come back on the air. And now I glance at Twitter, and I don't know what I'm looking at. All I'm seeing are things that are trending. I don't know why they're trending. There's no explanation as to why they're trending. I'm also getting sent into my timeline things that are 2 and 3 days old, and or I'm getting things from accounts I've never heard of talking about things I couldn't care less about. Someone's selling me a T-shirt that says, "Dear Mom, great job, we're awesome." What the hell is that? What is going on? When did this happen, and why?
Okay.
Why?
They've
taken a good thing and made it terrible.
Have you noticed any change?
That's just my little momentary thought on that. Greeny presented by Progressive Insurance.
Okay, Progressive Insurance, that takes. So have you noticed anything different about Twitter? What made Greenberg lose his mind on this?
Absolutely.
Yeah, you have. What's happening?
I've experienced a lot of the same thing he's talking about. There are times when I can tell I'm seeing tweets because they are clearly through the algorithm. It seemed like they are recommended for me or something they think I will want. I'm actually not seeing as much of what I used to go to Twitter for in the first place. I'm seeing ad recommendations for me that clearly the algorithm's getting this wrong because it's nothing I'm interested in at all. Like it's
So why am I not seeing any of this? I don't notice any difference whatsoever. I hear people complain about it. I don't notice any difference. Bergman, do you notice any difference
So
on Twitter?
are you going to For You? Are you in the For You section or the following section? Because there's two sections now. If you're in the
I'm in the For You section.
Okay, so the
oh
For
my
You.
God, look at Andy Kamenetsky's glorious hair.
Yeah, right.
I know.
So
I know.
For You
It's for
is
everyone.
algorithm, and they kind of put what they think you want. The following is all in time order. Everything's there. It'll say 33 seconds, 1 minute, 3 minutes. It's all in order what you're normally used to. Stay on following. Don't be in For You. For You is what they want you to see.
Okay.
Oh, that's the algorithm.
Okay.
Yes. So go
all
to
right.
following. Then everything will be there, time stamped.
Okay, you know what? I'm going to stay in following for a couple days because I'm going to be here later in the week.
Yeah.
I'll report back.
Okay, yeah, but just make sure when you do it, it's when you open up the app again, it's going to go directly to For You, so you
Okay.
have to click back to following.
Sometimes it says all, and then For You, and then following. How come it changes on the daily?
All.
Yeah, sometimes I get.
Oh no, you're in notifications.
Well,
I've got For You or following.
Yeah,
I
stay
can
in
see
following.
that.
It
so
also
you're saying if you put it on following, you're not victim to the algorithm.
Correct.
You're only going to see the people who
In order, everybody that you follow in order will go up.
But it gets different, though, if you're using TweetDeck, like as
I don't
opposed to your
know.
phone, because TweetDeck, the headings are all verified or mentioned.
Well, that's your notifications.
I just go to the
all
little house.
verified
Okay,
mentions is
okay,
notifications.
You're correct. You're correct. So just following versus For You.
Yes, stay
Okay.
in the following.
Okay.
Okay, got it. Sorry, Greeny. I don't know what they're doing to you.
We fixed
But
you, Greeny.
we
There you
just
go.
fixed you.
That's
We
what you got to
fixed
do.
you. All right, coming up next, what states drink the most? I could probably give you 5 guesses and you will not figure it out, but we'll do that coming up next for you. Plus, how Chad Ochocinco has so much money. That's also coming up. And then we got Game of Games. It is Andy's game today. We're starting a brand new month since Bergman won the month of January.
Yeah, I did. That's $10K in my pocket.
Mason and Ireland, 710 ESPN.
Hey, Laker fans, John Ireland here. Have you downloaded the new ESPN LA app? You got to get this thing. It's great. You can get Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, Sedano and Cap, and all of our Lakers talk with Slee right in the palm of your hand.
You're just one tap away from everything Lakers. You could even win Lakers tickets.
React to the Lakers on ESPN LA app.
Download the new ESPN LA app in the App Store or on Google Play.
What is your 2000?
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There is no mistake. There's no mistake.
There's
Mistake. Duh. Mistake. Come on. Seriously? Duh.
Well, that's right here. It says mistake. Okay.
There's a mistake.
No! I'm an idiot. No, I cannot find something here.
Double the.
Son of.
I don't see it, no. There's a mistake on this page?
Yeah.
Oh, there's 2 thus.
There you are.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
You beat Slee.
Yeah. Mistake. No, I can't find a mistake.
Look at the words.
Still don't see it?
Find the. Yeah, there's 2 thus.
You find the mistake.
God, I feel dumb.
Oh, DD?
Yeah, you
It's
got
double DD? Am I the only one that got it?
Mason and Ireland on 710 ESPN, the OGs of LA Sports Radio. We're here each weekday, 1 to 4 p.m. for your afternoon. Sandwiched between Travis and Sliwa and Sonato and Cap. Mason and Ireland continues now.
All right, how many do you think LeBron goes for tonight at Madison Square Garden, Andy?
37.
37.
45.
You think 45. Now, here's the thing. If he scores 45, it may mean, because the schedule goes Madison Square Garden, then Indiana, then New Orleans, and home to Oklahoma City. We kind of have Oklahoma City circled as the game where he would pass. If he scored 47 tonight, he might wind up setting the record at New Orleans or at Indiana.
Do you think he's playing the chessboard that carefully?
I don't know. What do you think? Don't you think he'd like to do it at home as opposed to on the road?
If it's not at home, I would think he'd want to do it in Milwaukee because that's where Kareem's career began.
Milwaukee
right,
would
but
be
Milwaukee's
home.
a home game.
So
it goes at Madison Square Garden, at Indiana, at New Orleans, home OKC, and home Milwaukee.
Okay, I apologize.
You're on a call sheet for that one. We got your credential.
I also thought you did a Laker, post game and Laker talk show.
I know that they played the Bucks. I forgot where it was. There's been a lot of games to keep track of.
I'd like to defend him.
40.
He is not as smart since he lost all his hair.
No. All of the smarts was contained in that hair.
That picture, by the way,
Samson.
is stunning.
I know.
Your hair.
I know. I mean, look
you were
at
playing guitar. Were you
That's a bass.
the bass. I was
bass.
not good. I was not good at all. There was a period where I was trying to learn it.
Got
I
it.
was not good.
Okay, so what state drinks the most is the question. And there is an actual study that is out in terms of drinking the most, and there is almost 4 gallons per person in the leading state. Do you have any idea what state in America drinks the most?
Is it per population?
It's per person.
Nevada.
Nevada is definitely there. Nevada is number 4. So you're close.
Okay.
Give me Wisconsin.
Wisconsin for 100. Number 8.
Okay.
How about Texas?
Texas, well down the list, actually.
Really?
Texas, they don't drink. Yeah, number 26.
Oh, I guess it depends on the area.
Massachusetts.
Massachusetts, not on the list. Okay, I gave you all the guesses. Go
Wyoming.
ahead. Take one more.
Wyoming.
You're right in going to states that are in the middle of nowhere. Wyoming is number 11. In the state
Ohio.
of New Hampshire,
Maine.
they drink almost
Vermont.
5 gallons of alcohol per person per year. Now, that seems like a lot.
5 gallons?
Almost 5 gallons per person per year.
You know what? I'm thinking about this like in terms of milk jug gallons, picturing that with booze. Maybe it says something about me. Doesn't seem like that much.
Doesn't seem like that much.
No.
Well, I mean, it's an average, right? Like how much?
A day is
How many gallons of alcohol do you think you drink a year?
Not 5 gallons, but there have been periods where I certainly was the 5 gallon. There were certainly periods where 5 gallons would have seemed like a light year for me.
Jorge, do you think you drink 5 gallons of alcohol a year?
If not more, yeah.
If not more?
Yeah.
Like, if you think about it in the milk jugs, it doesn't seem like that much, does it?
No, but if you think of it as those water jugs, like those big water, those blue water, yeah.
Yeah,
That
those
seems like a
big, a gallon of liquor is a lot. Bergman, do you think you drink 5 gallons of alcohol a year?
Absolutely not. I only drink socially, and that's just not enough to make
You
that.
never drink by yourself?
I refuse to drink by myself.
Oh, that's so fun. Come on,
No.
man.
What's wrong with drinking by yourself?
There's nothing wrong with it. I just won't do it. Like, I'm not going to sit at my house and drink because I have. What's the point?
Like, I'm
Don't
not
you
gonna-
want a little buzz?
I'm not gonna lie. I had a 12-pack during the Niner loss. Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, I really. My heart was really going out to you during that game.
Yeah, right.
I felt really bad for you. Now Tom Brady apparently is going to wind up the quarterback in San Francisco.
Oh no, please no.
Everybody's talking about it because Brock Purdy is not going to be ready. He's like 6 months away after the surgery for the ulnar collateral ligament, which is basically that's generally a baseball injury.
Yeah, it's Tommy John
UCL.
surgery.
It's Tommy John surgery. So and Jimmy Garoppolo, they don't have the right to franchise, and he's a free agent. And Trey Lance, they don't think is ready. So Tom Brady would go home and play for the 49ers. He's from up there. Jorge, as a Niners fan, you would be against that?
Yeah, I don't want Brady over here. I
really?
Don't. For what? He's going to do the same thing as he did in Tampa this year.
Well, I mean, he had other issues in Tampa. He still threw for a bunch of yards.
Nah.
I mean, if you think the Niners are really close, Brady doesn't necessarily have to be that great. With McCaffrey and Deebo Samuel, Kittle, like he doesn't actually. Elijah Mitchell, if he's healthy, he doesn't have to be that great.
I'll keep Josh Johnson. Just
yeah, Josh Johnson, who shined in that game. Okay, let me get one more thing in here before we go to Game of Games. Very interesting. I always talk about athletes, and in my life, I respect money, right? Like we were talking about $300 hoodies or whatever. I'm never buying a $300 hoodie. I respect money a lot. And athletes, we know instances where athletes certainly have not respected money and gotten themselves into problems. So Chad Ochocinco was on Shannon Sharp's podcast, and he talked about the ways that he saved money over the years. Listen to this.
I want to make enough money I can fly private.
Spirit, exit row, window seat. That's all I need. Long as I get from point A to point B. I don't need private. Athletes more so. If you can get to a point in your career where your name becomes bigger than anything you can purchase, there's your value. Wow. My name itself, Ochocinco at one point, even still to this day, is bigger than, why am I driving a Ferrari? Why am I driving a Rolls Royce and I'm Ocho? Oh, we talk about jewelry and watches and chains. Never bought real anything when I was playing. Never. What was the point? I went to Claire's. Yes, for what? What am I doing it for? The women don't deal with you anyway because of who you are.
Right.
And then the other women who really doing their homework, don't Google how much you're making already.
Right.
Why am I buying a $50,000 watch, $80,000 watch? What time is it real quick, please?
It's 20 minutes to 4.
How much that cost me?
It didn't cost you nothing.
Because time is
there
free.
You go. Cost him nothing. So this is interesting. So he's saying, and I don't think he's necessarily really flying Spirit, because and by the way, if you fly Spirit, more power to you. It's not my first choice of airlines, or second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, or ninth choice of airlines. But he said, why drive a Ferrari? It's true. If you're Ochocinco and you've got a big name, why do you need a fancy car? Why do you actually need a $50,000 watch when you can wear something cheap or a jewelry, a necklace that isn't real diamond? It's a way to save money and still look like you're spending money.
This is my thing when it comes to those type of huge money purchases.
Yep.
Are you doing it for you or are you doing it for them? Like, if you're doing it for you, if you're really into cars, you've just always loved cars, and you start collecting really expensive sports cars,
right?
Because that's just your thing for you, fine. If you're doing it because you want everybody to know that you've got that kind of money and you want to make sure you're wearing your money, like Floyd Mayweather style.
Oh, well, he's just grabbing handfuls of cash
Right.
and waving it on sidelines of NBA games.
Like, to me, that, if you want to do it, more power to you, I guess. To me, that's just insecure and lame. Like, if you're doing it for you, great. And if you happen to have expensive tastes in something, great. But if you're doing it for everybody else, like Ochocinco said, everyone knows you're rich. You don't have to prove it.
Right, and he's saying, women still, interested in Ochocinco because of who he was, not because he's got a really, really expensive piece of jewelry on.
No, they assume he's rich. Years ago, I did a profile of Ron Artest.
Mhm.
It was right before the Christmas game. Remember, he raffled off his championship ring.
His championship ring, yeah,
for,
to raise money for mental health awareness.
Yeah, and I did a profile of him, and one of the stories he told me was when he thought he was going to be re-signing with the Rockets, and it ended up that fell through, and he signed with the Lakers. He had this big plan where he was going to take a bunch of friends to a strip club and make $500,000 rain. He was going to take $500,000 in cash and just make it rain, essentially because he could. And that was part of the re-signing with Houston plan, but that ended up falling through, and they ended up signing with the Lakers, and it didn't end up happening. And I asked him, like, how do you feel about that now, like a year removed from it? And he's like, that would have been so stupid.
Yeah,
he's like, it would have been
stupid.
such step backwards for me in terms of the progress I've made as a person.
Yeah.
It just would have been dumb.
Yeah, respecting money is a real thing. I mean, I think all professional sports leagues should have some program where they're educating athletes about how to spend their money, because it's a lot of money to get all at once, and I think it's probably pretty easy to screw it up. All right, Game of Games is coming up next for you. It is Andy Kamenetzky's game. In the meantime, you, as a business, did the tough thing during COVID. You paid your people, and you pulled your business through the pandemic. And now, doing the tough thing could qualify you for up to 20.
Hey, Laker fans, John Ireland here. Have you downloaded the new ESPN LA app? You got to get this thing. It's great. You can get Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, Sedano and Cap, and all of our Lakers talk with Slee right in the palm of your hand.
You're just one tap away from everything Lakers. You could even win Lakers tickets.
React to the Lakers on ESPN LA app.
Download the new ESPN LA app in the App Store or on Google Play.
All right, Chris.
Yes.
Who is the most famous person in your contact list?
I know everyone thinks I'm going to say Keyshawn. And he's pretty famous, right? But I think it's Bob Costas. Bob and I worked together years ago.
I've been doing this a really long time, so I have a bunch of people in O'Shea.
Can you FaceTime him?
FaceTime one of them?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you know I got your back, bro.
There he is. There he is.
Michael Caine, the actor Michael Caine.
Can you FaceTime him?
Right now?
Yes.
Hell no. He's somewhere in England, hasn't made a movie in 20 years. No.
Is comedian Bill Engvall.
Can you FaceTime him? Right now?
Try.
Bill,
What a surprise.
how are you?
I'm good. What are you doing?
James Worthy, I think, is the most famous person in my contact list. And if I tried calling James Worthy, there's a 1,000% chance he would not answer.
James Worthy.
You know who's not in the Hall of Fame, who should be, who's in this phone? Steve Mason and John Ireland. They need to be in the Radio Hall of Fame.
I mean, I guess maybe Jay-Z, maybe.
Wrong.
I mean, I don't know if he's that. Yeah, I guess maybe
Wrong.
Jay-Z.
Ball, he's pretty famous. Charles Barkley. J.B. Smoove. Kyrie Irving, he's definitely changed his phone number since his Cleveland days.
Oh, that's easy. It's Magic Johnson, but the problem is he keeps changing his phone number on me.
Game of Games. Game of Games presented by CallJacob.com.
Call Jacob.
Everyone loves a fighter, but in this town, winning matters, especially after an accident. So remember, anyone can fight, but CallJacob.com is here for you when you need a big win. After an accident, go to CallJacob.com or call 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB. We got the jingle.
Call Jacob.
Thank you. Game of Games time. Take it away, Mace.
All right, and right now we are officially coast to coast. Me, Andy Bergman, Jorge in Los Angeles, Michael Thompson, and John Ireland joining us from Madison Square Garden in New York. Guys, what's going on?
Hey, what's happening?
All is good, man. So Bergman wrapped up the month yesterday, unfortunately.
Sure did, John.
Well, then why are we playing?
It's the first day of February.
All right.
We're starting a new month.
You could have played yesterday. I asked.
I know I couldn't. We were stuck. It took us. I'm not kidding you guys. Michael, how far was the hotel from the arena? About a mile and a half?
About 2.5 miles. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
You guys hear me?
Yeah.
It took us 48 minutes to get there.
It took us 48 minutes to go 2.5 miles.
Why don't you walk?
Well, Adrian Garcia would have walked, back in the day. But, next year.
Okay, it's Andy's game today. Andy, give us a sneak preview here. Tell us what the game is about.
First of all, who's playing in it? Are five
me,
of you?
Bergman, Jorge, Ireland, Michael Thompson.
Okay, great. So today is the 31st of January, and the most famous 31, at least to me, is the 31 in Baskin Robbins 31 Flavors Ice Cream Shop. The first was launched in 1945 by Irvin Robbins and Burt Baskin. Since then, they've opened up over 8,000 locations in 50 countries. So with that in mind, we're going to play some Baskin and Robbins trivia.
Okay. Is it multiple choice?
Multiple choice.
Okay.
What was the relationship between Irving Robbins and Burton Baskin? Childhood friends, co-workers in a different industry, or brothers-in-law? Childhood friends, co-workers, brothers-in-law.
I'm going childhood friends. Bergman?
Childhood friends.
Jorge?
Co-workers.
Co-workers. Ireland?
Co-workers.
Co-workers. And Michael Thompson?
Michael?
What?
Can you not hear him?
No.
All right, Michael's out.
Okay, Michael's out.
You're
all right,
all-
we've already eliminated one.
Yep.
You're all wrong. They
Wrong.
were brothers-in-law. Robbins' sister was married to Baskin. The two initially jumped into the ice cream industry with separate businesses. Robbins opened his first ice cream shop in Glendale. What was it called? Snowbird, Ice Cream Castle, or Nice Dreams? Snowbird, Ice Cream Castle, or Nice Dreams?
All right,
Bergman?
Michael's back. What do you think?
Ice Cream Castle.
Ice Cream Castle. Okay. Bergman?
Snow Dreams.
Snow Dream.
You mean Snowbird or Nice
Snowbird.
Dreams? Snowbird.
Oh, I put two of them together.
That's gaming
Jorge.
the system right there.
The Castle one. Castle.
Ireland?
The one with dreams.
Dreams. And I'll say the one with Castle.
Snowbird is the correct
Hey.
answer.
We all missed
Greg?
it again?
No, I got it.
Bourbon got it.
Okay. Okay.
Ice Cream Castle was the name of an album by The Time, and Nice Dreams was a Cheech and Chong movie.
I knew I had heard that somewhere.
Yeah, they played weed dealers who were pretending to be ice cream makers.
Okay, excellent. That explains that.
California was the first state to feature a Baskin Robbins. What was the second state? Oregon, Arizona, or Nevada? Oregon, Arizona, or Nevada?
Jorge?
Oregon.
Oregon. Ireland?
Nevada.
Nevada. Michael?
Oregon.
Oregon. Me? Nevada. And Bergman?
Arizona.
Arizona.
Bergman up
Yay!
2-0 over the crowd.
Wow, the rich
Arizona,
get
the
richer.
second state. In the ever-expanding ice cream empire, they eventually reached Moscow. What ice cream did they create to commemorate this momentous event, going to Moscow for Baskin Robbins? Did they create a flavor called Bits of Bleeny, Creamy Kremlin, or Gorba Chocolate? Bits of Bleeny, Creamy Kremlin, or Gorba Chocolate?
Talking about
Ireland.
Moscow, Idaho, or Russia?
Russia.
Russia.
Well, there are two of them.
True.
Ireland, which one do you choose?
Creamy Kremlin.
Michael?
The one with Gorbachev.
Gorba Chocolate.
I also say it's Gorba Chocolate. Bergman?
Bits of Bleeny.
Bleeny. And Jorge?
The second one.
Creamy Kremlin?
Yeah.
Gorba Chocolate. Michael
Yes.
is
Michael
there
and
you go,
Mason
Michael.
are on the board.
Yes.
and Mace on the board as well. Which of these former presidents once worked at a Baskin Robbins? Barack Obama, George W. Bush, or Bill Clinton? Barack Obama, George W. Bush, or Bill Clinton?
Michael, you're first.
Well, it wasn't Bush because he came from a rich family. Barack was hanging out in Hawaii, so I'm going to go with Clinton because he looks like he liked ice cream.
He
Junk
did
food.
probably eat a lot of ice cream. I'm also going Bill Clinton. Bergman?
Yeah, Clinton.
Clinton. Jorge?
Obama.
Obama. And Ireland?
Clinton.
Clinton.
Jorge on the board. Barack
Jorge!
Obama
Yeah.
once worked at Baskin Robbins. Other famous folks who worked there include Julia Roberts, Rosie O'Donnell, Randy Quaid, and Bobby Flay. Which
Okay, so I've got a Bergman 2, Mason 1, Jorge 1, Ireland 1, Michael Thompson 1.
Yep.
I don't have any.
Oh, wait. Yes, you're correct. You have none.
Oh,
I have
Ireland,
none.
shut up.
Michael, Mason, and Jorge have one, and Greg has two.
Okay.
Okay.
Which rapper appeared in a Baskin Robbins commercial as a 2-year-old? Tupac Shakur, Diddy, or Ad Rock from the Beastie Boys? Tupac, Diddy, or Ad Rock from the Beastie Boys?
I will say Ad Rock from the Beastie Boys. Bergman.
Yeah, Ad Rock.
Jorge.
Tupac.
Ireland.
I think it's a guy from the Beastie Boys because that's too weird to come up with as a choice.
It is.
Yeah, I'm
Michael?
going with the guy from the Beastie Boys.
Beastie.
You're all wrong. It was Diddy. Diddy
Wow.
was in a Baskin Robbins commercial as a 2-year-old.
Okay, so we've got to play. We got to play one more. Bergman's got the lead. He's got to go first.
Okay.
Is there only one more?
I've got a couple more if you need them.
Are we
we're
up
up,
against the clock
we're
or
up
something?
against what they call the hard out or whatever
Okay.
the hell that is.
All right, then I'm out. Go ahead.
Okay. How many of the top 5 selling Baskin Robbins flavors feature chocolate? 3, 4, or 5 of the top 5 selling Baskin Robbins flavors feature chocolate?
Bergman.
3, 4, or 5?
Mm-hmm.
4.
4. Jorge.
5.
5. Michael Thompson.
I'll say 5.
5. I will also say 5.
You're all wrong. It's 3. The
Oh,
top
that means Bergman wins.
The top 5 are
I'll
vanilla, chocolate, mint chocolate chip, pralines and cream, and chocolate chip.
Wow, Bergman is on a
Rocky
roll
Road?
right now. Now he's
Yes,
up 1-0 in the month
sir.
of February.
Rocky Road is chocolate.
There you have it.
All right, there you
tiebreaker.
have
How
it.
many
There's your game.
flavors?
Nice game, Andy.
There have been over 1,300 flavors since the inception of Baskin Robbins. Over 1,300.
Sheesh.
Wow. All right, so guys, how
game,
many is
Andy.
LeBron going to score tonight?
Well, he's got to pace himself because he wants to break the record in L.A. And plus, he's going to get a lot of help tonight in scoring from a bunch of guys who can score. So he doesn't have to go. Even though he wants to put on a show, he'll go for like 30 tonight just to save himself to make sure he can break the record in L.A.
Ireland, is that what's going on? Is he going to kind of preserve because he's got a number of road games coming up. If he went big tonight,
No, he's going to score 38.
which will
Because
put
they
him
need
on
him-
pace to break the record,
They
I
don't need him to
think,
score that much.
against
Not with AD
Oklahoma
back.
City.
Yeah, AD hasn't been scoring. I'll say 38.
What? AD had 20-something in Boston in 20 minutes.
He had 21.
Well, there you go. That's scoring, Ireland. What do you want us to get, 50 in his first game back?
How many did LeBron have in Boston?
Well, he had 40 because he wanted to put on a show, but now
Exactly.
he's
So he
gonna
doesn't want to put on a show in the world's most famous arena?
No, because he wants to break the record in L.A.
Yeah, what is more important, putting on a show at Madison Square Garden or breaking the record in L.A.?
That's right,
Well,
Ireland.
both things can happen. I mean, he would have to score if he averages his regular average, which is 30 a game for this year. He would break it in L.A. For the first home game against Oklahoma City. And if he averages 27, which is his career average, he would break it against Milwaukee. So he would have to have like 4 40-point games. Or now there's 3 games left on this trip. 3 40-point games to do it on this trip, which I don't think he's going to do.
Quick thought on what happened at the end of that game on Saturday. Inexcusable missed call.
Oh, big deal. Get over it. It happens.
Get over it. I'm not getting
Get
over it. That
over
was
it.
a win.
Come on.
That was a win.
You know how many calls they missed all game, and how many calls they have cost teams cost teams wins in the past? They act like that's the first time a referee's ever missed a call.
Playing arguably the best team in the league, clearly a shooting foul, gone to the line, should have won the game, and these games all count in the standings, Michael.
It should have happened many times in the past, too. We all lived with it and moved on. You know what? Like I said yesterday in the pregame, Mace, they still had 5 minutes to win the game. Go out and win the game.
And by the way, they checked out after they got hosed. They just their body language was bad. They just didn't even. It's like the overtime didn't even happen.
Plus, Mace, they made a ton of mistakes in the last 15 seconds of the game. How about fouling
Their
the guy on that
execution
take
down the stretch?
How about not
terrible.
fouling Jaylen Brown on the rebound? Come on.
All right. Well, more of this coming up. John Ireland doesn't have the call tonight. Alan Sleewa's got pregame. We're back tomorrow at 1. It'll be me and Momo tomorrow. Andy, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Talk to you on Thursday.
Yep.
Mason and Ireland back tomorrow at 1, 710 ESPN.